interest of time, I want us to rise to the occasion as we call our International Tourism Minister to the podium, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett.
Labor rights all. Wow, what a powerful today, what a powerful evening, what a strong night, what a statement we're making in Northeast St. Anne that we are ready for the third term. I looked around when I came here this evening, coming from Anchovy, where we had a mammoth Area 4 conference with thousands of workers before Prime Minister Andrew Holness making the same statement that you are making here tonight in exchange that Prime Minister, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready, we're ready. And so we want you to appreciate that this mission that we are on is not an ordinary mission. That this mission that we are on is a life-changing mission. It's a future that will redefine Jamaica and will put us on an unchanging and sustainable path to prosperity and growth. Andrew Holness has started the process. He became the first Prime Minister to have a full term, a second term, and in every single budgetary year, we have had absolutely no new taxes. Tell me any government that you have had before that has run 10 consecutive years without imposing $1 in taxation. And what has that done? That has enabled you and the private sector to free up your investment potential, to unlock your possibilities to become entrepreneurs and to turn your hand and make fashion. And the position is to create jobs and more jobs. So Andrew Holness became the first Prime Minister to reduce unemployment from 13.5% to a record 3.3%. We have not done half of the job as yet. I just tell you about those two, but let me tell you the third. This Prime Minister is the first Prime Minister to chop down with debt by 50% in 2 terms of office. When we took office in 2016, the debt was 129%. Today, the debt is 68% and going down and further down. You know what that means? That means when we take it in the next term to 60%, we are now in line with the best countries with the highest credit rating, and it is Andrew Holness' government that will be able to take Jamaica to that position. And what that means is that all your creditors will literally be running after Jamaica to give us credit. But guess what? We are going to be in a position where we don't need to take it because we can finance our capital development from the savings and the revenue that we generate in the country. Look at another important thing, the last budget. And we have had a balanced budget for the last 5 years. And the last budget had the smallest element of debt payment in the history of Jamaica, 17 cents. 17 cents out of the dollar, which means the rest of the budget can be used to pay, to make sure that you get better wages, and that has happened. To pay, to make sure that your roads can be fixed. And Spark has come with $40 billion, the largest amount ever put forward for capital development in Jamaica. $40 billion. And we were able to make highways that we didn't have to borrow a dollar from anybody. The perimeter road in Montego Bay. And we have been at the cusp of a new dawn in terms of our health development. Look at what is happening in Cornwall Regional now. Jamaica is becoming the first and only Caribbean country to have a modern health complex, an entire suite of health arrangements from early childhood issues right back to paid, dealing with big-time surgeries and all sorts of medical complications. No other country in the Caribbean has that capability, and under Andrew Holness's government, we are going to have that capability. And I want to talk to you now about your space, because as a minister of tourism, you know how important that industry is to all of you here in this part of St. Anne. And you know we have had a little problem with the accident that took place with the pier. And it's been a struggle to get it done. But the good news is that by the 3rd week of August, the first ship will come and port in Ocho Rios. And we are reimagining the entire arrangements for our small and medium tourism players in the industry here. And you're a member of Parliament. The reason that we are here tonight, you're a member of Parliament, one of the finest and best prospects for the future of politics in Jamaica. Matthew Samuda, who is doing an excellent job in bringing potable water to all parts of Jamaica. He is an unrelenting, I want to use a phrase that you know a little better. You know, like when Pichero is set up. You understand me? And won't leave it alone. It's so him stay with me to make sure that the matters that I'm now going to talk about happen for this constituency, and particularly for Ocho Rios. Because he says to me that we have to reimagine our policies in relation to the supply side of tourism, to make sure that more of our local people can become involved in the tourism value chain. And he says to me, it has to be a policy with local first. Meaning to say, whatever we're developing, start with the local boys and make sure that they are positioned in every aspect of it. And I tell him, yes, we have to. And so, the new policy that we are crafting will look at how to enable, particularly our craft vendors and our artisans, to have a far more productive arrangement for tourism and to put themselves in a position where absolutely no cruise ship could come to Jamaica that does not come to visit them. And this is important Because we are not going to continue with the business of just having made in Taiwan and made in Japan and made in China. We want to have a lot more made in Jamaica products. That means they have to stop and buy from you. And we're working on that. So you see the reasons we need a third term. We need a third term to make it more appropriate for you, the small players, to be deeply inserted in the tourism value chain. But we're doing more than that. We're looking at the riverine experiences, White River, and the rivers that we have around, to reimagine that whole process also, to enable greater involvement, but in a more regulated and structured way so that we can have sustainability. We're building more hotel rooms. At Richmond, we're putting 700 new rooms there with the Secrets brand. And groundbreaking will happen shortly. We're looking at the beach program to make sure that access to our beaches are available to everyone in these areas. And critical to it is the Priory Beach, which we have already designed and provided the budget for. And in a short while, you will see the design established, put up a nice big advertisement sign will be there to show you what Priory Beach is going to look like and how it is going to rival Harmony Beach in Montego Bay. We are concerned that the negative stereotypes that is being pushed by some other people don't have a chance to take root because they have no tradition in building anything, in expanding anything, in causing growth in any area. A good example of that is how they treat tourism. Because in the 22 years that they serve as government, they changed 13 ministers of tourism. And starting from 1980, when we introduced the Ministry of Tourism, when Edward Seaga established tourism as a ministry for the first time, the entire 10 years there is 2 ministers we had. Anthony Abrams and Hugh Hart. And since we come back in 2007, it's only one tourism minister that we have had for the entire period. And what is the result? The result is growth and growth and more growth, that we took the industry in 2007 with less than 2 million visitors, and today we have 4.3 million visitors coming to Jamaica. We had only a little over $1 billion in earnings in 2007. Today, we have $4.5 billion of earnings. We employ 175,000 people working in hotels and attractions in Jamaica now, the largest portion of workers in any single industry in Jamaica. And you think so we're done? We now have another 10,000 rooms that are going to be built in the next 5 years. And despite COVID, the Andrew Holness-led government is the only government in Jamaica that, notwithstanding what we call a wickedest, hardest human tragedy that we have had, COVID. And when we finish with COVID, we brought more people to Jamaica than before COVID. And also the investors that have come and agreed to invest before COVID. Every single one of them is now still investing in Jamaica. And we're breaking ground next week. Next week, Tuesday, the 22nd. We're breaking ground for Harmony Cove, 1,000 luxury room with all sorts of golfing and wonderful gaming and all sorts of wonderful entertainment right here in Trelawney, next door. And then in the other week, we're going to be breaking ground for what will be the tallest building in Jamaica's tourism history. A 30-story building in Lilliput, in St. James, 1,300 more rooms. And beside that, with Unicon, which is now in full construction, that will be ready by January of next year. And then Hard Rock will come, and the areas are going to just begin to grow and grow and grow. And Sanders is doing expansion in the Runaway Bay area and also refurbishing Boscobel. My God, what a government with the real commitment of the private sector. What a government that has the confidence of investors. What a government that must get a third term. So, St. Anne, you're poised for growth. We are going to create a bypass. Now to bypass all the bottleneck areas of Priory, Runaway Bay, CLM, Discovery Bay, and go all the way to Bengal, right at the border of Trelawney and St. Anne. That way we will now be able to carve out an area that is going to be just for development and growth. Look at what is happening at Jack's Hall. Have you ever seen development like that anywhere in the region? And how quickly it has been done under this Jamaica Labour Party government. And more to come. Confidence in this government. And so I want you to leave here, workers, with that message. That because people have confidence in Jamaica and confidence in the Jamaica Labour Party and confidence in Prime Minister Andrew Holness, we will choose Jamaica. And I want you, in keeping with what Minister Grange has said, to focus now as workers in bringing out the voters in the next election. So all the wonderful conference, the big meetings, the great speeches, the wonderful dancing, and the great unity that we seek don't mean as much as being able to go house to house and bring the voters to vote on election day for the Jamaica Labour Party, Matthew Samuda, and by extension, Andrew Michael Holness. So as I leave you tonight, I want you to leave in your mind a picture of a country that is ready to move forward with progress. I just left a big meeting in St. James where all the constituency leaders came and everyone was of the same mind that we have 16 constituency in the Western Jamaica. The first time in our history. And they tell us, and they gave the Prime Minister the pledge that he will be the first Prime Minister of Jamaica to give them 16 love back to back in Western Jamaica. And we want St. Anne to respond in that way. for love. We want St. Anne to respond in that way because we know that the future of Jamaica rests squarely in the hands of the Jamaica Labour Party. And I don't want you to be deterred by the music and the sound, nor even the foolish slogan that they have developed about blood and fire. I don't want you to pay no attention to that, because that by itself is just a wrong messaging to a country that has come out of a difficult period. And when the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police and the head of the JDF and the best Prime Minister that the country has ever seen came together and say, we are going to change the game with security in the country, and changed it. And today, even the American Secretary of State visiting Jamaica said clearly that Jamaica is a safe place to be. So much so that the travel advisory that was at Category 3, if you remember, saying to people don't come, has now been lowered to Category 2 and will go down in future because of the good work that this government is doing. The PNP's history of national security is abysmal. And the difference between them and us is simply two: that we used state of emergency to reduce crime, while they used state of emergency 50 years ago to lock up political opponents and to get political advantage in an election. So we say, the choice is clear. There's no question about it, Labour. The better government, the better Prime Minister, the better cabinet, the better MPs, the better people who now see that the only way forward is to choose Prime Minister Andrew Holness, to choose, in your case, Matthew Samuda, and to choose Jamaica, and to have sustainable growth and development, and to protect the future of your children and their children to come. God bless you all as we move with that confidence that we will.